Hi friends. So it is the beginning of August, which means I have run all the numbers for the food that I harvested in July, and I wanted to share with y'all what that looks like. So a little reminder for anybody, or if you don't know, I grow in Zone 8B in the Willamette Valley in Oregon, and our property is 3/4 of an acre, but we don't grow on all of that. So one day I'm going to measure. My garden is in several different places, so it's hard for me to say exactly how many square feet I'm growing on. I have estimated that it's around 1,500 square feet. I don't really, I wouldn't take that as like real accurate. I don't know for sure. It's not a huge area that we grow in. I mean, it's a big like city garden, but I am not covering half an acre with anything. We do have some fruit trees, which you'll see that bumps up my harvest here. And I have a large herb garden, and all of that would be included in that. So, okay, so let's just start off. So for grand total, let's start with the end, and let's start at the end. Why not? Why not? So grand total, I grew 121 pounds. Almost 122, 121.9 pounds. So almost 122 pounds. That's what I harvested in July. Let me break that down. So we do have 2 apple trees. They are young trees, but I did harvest 28 pounds of apples off of our first tree that is an early producing apple. The other apple tree still has all of its apples on it. It's a late producing tree, so we'll get that harvest maybe at the end of this month, maybe at the beginning of next month. Some of these I have to say that this is definitely not incredibly accurate. Like if we eat it out in the yard, out in the garden, we don't, it's not getting weighed. And then there are a lot of times where I'm making dinner and I run out and grab something that doesn't get weighed. And I kind of gave up on weighing my herbs. It was all the few that I put a couple in here, but that turned out to be something that I need a different system for. The system that I'm using is not working great. My scale is accurate enough to weigh in tenths of ounces, but just it was just causing me too much frustration. So there's a couple of places in here where I have herbs, but like it says mixed herbs or something, and I definitely harvested significantly more than is accounted for in here, but they don't weigh a lot. So apples 28 pounds, basil 2.5 ounces for sure. I harvested more than 2.5 ounces. I've made pesto 3 or 4 times this month. So beets 5 ounces. It's July, so not a great month for beets, but cabbage I didn't calculate. So how I do this is I record it all in ounces. Let me really quick. I grew 43 ounces of or I harvested 43 ounces. So I would go 43 divided by 16 equals, so 2.6 pounds of cabbage. Oh, I see. I'm just reading my spreadsheet wrong. That's just one day of cabbage. Get on board, Megan. Sorry. So combined, I actually had another harvest, and I harvested 7.8 pounds of cabbage. Cucumber, I only have 4 producing plants. So this number is astounding. 14 pounds of cucumbers that I harvested last year. These plants are crazy. The variety, 3 of them are the same variety. They are white martini from Territorial, and I will for sure grow them again. They, even in 100-degree heat, they are not going bitter. They are so delicious, and they are prolific. So they did struggle in the germination. They germinated greatly, but then some of them stunted and didn't grow great Like I haven't normally had that problem, but the ones that did survive are producing huge amounts of fruit. So that is now on my forever list. Fava beans, 3 pounds. German chamomile. This is kind of an interesting number. I harvested an entire pound of German chamomile. I have a lot of German chamomile plants. They have been producing heavily. They've kind of died off now, but yep. And that is harvested weight, not dried weight. It would be interesting to see what it dries as. I've got about, I would say a little less than a quart of dried chamomile put away, and then more drying. So, and there'll be there'll be more German chamomile to be harvested. We're not done with it. The green bean harvests just started, and I have harvested 8.5 ounces. Nope, did not. Oh, I'm evidently struggling with my spreadsheets here. I harvested 8.5 ounces and 6.5 ounces, so that would be 14.5 ounces. No, it would be, okay, 8 plus 7, 15 ounces. 15 ounces of green beans. Kale, 10.5 ounces. And then mixed greens, that includes what's left of my, little bit left of my lettuce, and which is all bolted now. This was early in July, and Swiss chard, and that would be 5.5 ounces. Onions, 7.25 pounds. These are some for storage. They're curing. We've been using them up as we need them. Most of my onions are out of the ground now. I think I just have maybe 10 onions still on the ground that I'm waiting for their leaves to fall over. Patty pan squash. You can tell we're in patty pan season, 7.5 pounds. Plums. We do have a plum tree. It did something very weird this year, and the heat wave caused all of the fruit to all ripen all at once. And so we lost a ton of it simply because it was the week that we were leaving on vacation. I harvested as much as we can. We ate quite a bit. I froze some, but I ended up only recording 2.6 pounds. I certainly harvested more than that. We fed a huge portion of it to our chickens. So that it was a little bit heartbreaking, but I do have 2.6 pounds in my freezer. That's what I froze. And then we ate fresh quite a bit that didn't get weighed. Red potatoes, 34.5 pounds. Rhubarb, 9 ounces. Tomatoes, 2.3 pounds. So just in the beginning of tomato season. Those are full-size tomatoes. I think I counted cherry tomatoes differently. I must not have. Okay, so that must be all the tomatoes. Yard-long cucumbers. I did not count with the white martinis. Oh, okay, so I really only had 3 white martinis because the 4th one is a yard-long cucumber, and I have harvested a pound worth of yard-long cucumbers. And zucchini. My zucchini plants are struggling in a strange way. They're still producing zucchini. I have put some more seeds in the ground because these plants are clearly not going to go through the whole season. The heat wave they were young and just starting to, they were getting ready to flower when the heat wave hit, and they don't look like healthy zucchini plants. They are producing zucchini, and I have harvested 8.7 pounds, which is nothing to snuff at, but I normally have quite a bit more than that. So not getting to share. It's plenty for us to eat, but I'm not getting to share as much as I normally would because we're eating most of what they're producing. So for a grand total of 122.9 pounds harvested in July, and we haven't even hit tomato season yet. So it'll be interesting. I've never recorded how many pounds of tomatoes I've grown before, and I'm growing my tomatoes different than I have ever before. there are a lot of tomatoes on them that are really quite large. So it'll be interesting to see. I wish I had something to compare to from previous years. I will be able to tell from like volume approximately, but we'll see. Anyway, that's the end. That's what I grew. Well, that's what I harvested in July. Obviously, I grew more, but that's what I harvested in July. I hope that this is interesting to you. Again, like this is I have a large, I would call it like a large city garden. Definitely something that if you have like a big piece of grass that you could, I have 5 raised beds and then 3 bigger in-ground beds and 5 smaller in-ground beds, and then a lot of containers plus an herb garden. That kind of gives you an idea. If you've watched a garden tour, you know what it looks like. So hopefully that's interesting or helpful to somebody, and I will talk to you next time.